Hello and welcome to another edition of Batavia Muckdog Baseball here on YouTube Live. We do have perfect game collegiate baseball action here at Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York, as your Batavia Muckdogs will host the Elmira Pioneers in not what is mostly a big rivalry here in the division. Today will be an exhibition game between the two teams, so we will see a game that we saw last Monday as well, as Batavia faced off against the Mansfield Destroyers, a team in the NYCBO, as it was their first exhibition game of the year. Basically, from here on out, every single Monday, the game will not count towards their actual standings in the PGCBO, as we see assistant coach Tony Brewington doing his Phi Gamma Phi atomic dog dance. But we have had an interesting start here so far today. It was supposed to be a 7:05 first pitch, but due to some showers and very bad thunderstorms that came through the area, we are about 45 minutes past first pitch, and we're going to have some action here tonight as both teams are rolling out some interesting lineups that we haven't seen up to this point, with Elmira, for example, starting 4 different pitchers, and they'll be playing in the field with Peter Theodorelis, a normal outfielder. He will also be on the mound tonight with Nate Scott, Logan Jones, Chris Mattoon, and Alex Sweeney, who are all pitchers playing in the field. For your Batavia Muckdogs, your Tompkins Bank of Castile starting lineups will start with second baseman Cameron Connolly. The Pepperdine commit will lead things off. Blair Frederick, who is an outfielder and left-handed pitcher from Xavier University of Louisiana. He'll be playing left field and batting second. Batting third will be the DH Daniel Burraway, the big freshman from Alvin Community College. Charlie Ciccone will be the cleanup hitter and playing shortstop. Mitch Fleming will be behind the plate with both Bryce Mortellaro and Joey Battaglia dealing with some injuries, so we will see Fleming behind the plate for the second straight day. Joe Georgia will be playing first base and batting sixth. Luis Rodriguez, the Alabama State corner outfielder, will be playing right field. Ethan Sarimento will get the start at third base and be batting eighth. Trey Bacon, we've seen him on the mound, but he will be the extra hitter in today's action, and then in the number 10 hole will be Christian Robinson playing center field. I alluded to Elmira having an interesting lineup, having a lot of guys that have had limited at-bats so far this season. They'll start things off with Sam Polanco. We've seen him play second base so far this season against the Muckdogs. He will be behind the plate and batting first. Rice Yeomans, we've seen him play third base. He is from Corning Community College, but he'll be playing short tonight. Peter Theodorelis, we've seen him play left field and actually have a few really nice hits up to this point. He'll be on the mound for Elmira in tonight's action. Ethan Buckley will be playing second base. David Ferguson will be batting fifth and playing first base. Kevin Serrano, who has struggled so far this season, he will be in center field. And then the pitchers that will be playing tonight in the field, Nate Scott is playing third base. Logan Jones is in left, and Chris Mattoon is in right, due to Peter Theodorelis also hitting while he is pitching. It will have their extra hitter be Alex Sweeney. Therefore, there is no DH in their lineup with the pitcher hitting. So we are still trying to get things underway, as do have the sun trying to shine out here at Dwyer Stadium. We'll be back in a little bit as we continue to get things up and running here at Dwyer Stadium. First pitch will be coming soon. Hello, and we are ready here for some baseball in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League as your Batavia Muckdogs will play host to the Elmira Pioneers. These two teams mostly are bitter rivals as they play each other 16 times throughout the season. Tonight is the first time that these two teams are actually just in an exhibition game, in a friendly, as they like to say in soccer. But thank you for joining us here today. I'm Griffin Delapenna, bringing you through all the action here today.
Also, it's her birthday.
A first pitch right here.
We're wishing her a very happy birthday. Throw out the first pitch, Sarah.
By Sarah. She is a Special Olympian. That's a strike to Mitch Fleming. And it's also Dewey, the mascot's birthday today here at the park. Unfortunately, due to the weather that we had, first pitch is almost an hour late, and a lot of those festivities got cut out of the plans. So, Dewey, we are sorry that we couldn't celebrate your birthday the right way, but we do have baseball here tonight, as it looked like it wasn't going to happen for a long time. We had some gray clouds, a bunch of thunderstorm and lightning, and a whole lot of rain. But we are here as your Muckdogs, playing home at Dwyer Stadium here tonight. Thank you all for watching. As I can see, the views continue to climb. So Elmira, due to them being the away team, will have the bats rolling here first, going with an interesting lineup, something that we haven't seen so far this season. A lot of it due to the fact that it is an exhibition game that won't be counting towards their regular season record. So currently, the Batavia Muckdogs are one game back of Elmira for third place, as Batavia sits at 5-5, and Elmira is 6-4, with 3 of their losses this season coming from the hands of the Batavia Muckdogs. As the sun continues to come out here at Dwyer Stadium. The Elmira Pioneers, a lot of their starters are taking the night off, similar to Batavia. Mitch Fleming behind the dish as Joey Battaglia and Bryce Mortellaro continue to get healthy, as well as Kyle Kohlhofer on the mound. We saw him start a week ago from today in the other exhibition game. Sam Polanco will be the first hitter for the Pioneers in this one, as first pitch looking to be right around 8:03, almost an hour later than originally scheduled. Sam Polanco so far this season is that first pitch.
WPTA 1490 100.1 FM, first pitch time
Will
temperature 8:02 at
outside.
57 degrees.
That one swung through by Polanco. So far this season for Sam Polanco, he is hitting .91 in just 11 at-bats. Started out the season in the middle infield, as that one is also swung on and missed to make the count 1-2. Sam Polanco, one of those Corning Community College guys. As there's a nice slider, and Polanco will just look at it as Kyle Kohlhofer starts out the game hot with a backwards K.
Playing shortstop number 5, Reyes Humans.
Here is Reese Yeomans. Reese Yeomans here. We've seen him play a lot of third base so far this season, as I feel like I know these guys like it's the back of my hand because we've seen them play so much so far. Now the count is 1-1 again. Kyle Kohlhofer pitched 1 inning in yesterday's 5-0 win over the Newark Pilots. And was still ready to go as that one snagged by Kohlhofer, and he'll take a step over and throw it over to Joe Georgia at first base, and now we quickly have 2 down.
Batting third, pitcher number 9, Peter Theodorelis.
That is very true. He does represent Omega Sci-Fi extremely well. As there are 2 down in the inning, and now steps in tonight's pitcher for Elmira, Peter Theodorelis, as that one swung on and missed. Saw him have a deep double in the gap on our home opener. we'll see him in action on the mound tonight. I'm very excited to see 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the Pioneer order come up here, as they're all pitchers playing in the field tonight. That one swung on and hit foul out to Bank Street. Kyle Kohlhofer currently attends Fayetteville Technical Community College. Very young guy. He was born April 24th of 2002, so still just 18 years old. That one will miss. Upstairs as Kohlhofer tried to go with another curveball, just didn't have enough grip on it, so the count will be 2-2. The pitch by Kohlhofer is also swung, and that sliced foul. Guys from Corning Community College of San Polanco. Kevin Serrano, who also is in tonight's lineup, was Yeomans. There is another strike three. Just looking at it, Kyle Kohlhofer is chuckling to himself as he walks off after a 1-2-3 inning to start this game. We'll be back shortly as Batavia will get the bats rolling with Cameron Connolly, Blair Frederick, and Daniel Burroway up after the break. And we are back here in the bottom of the first inning as Peter Theodorelis is going to be on the mound. He is scheduled and on the roster as a pitcher/utility player. He's listed at 5'7", 170 pounds from Malloy College, a Division III school, a great baseball program. We will see him in action as some of his warm-up pitches were some knuckleballs, so very unorthodox on the mound. Don't see that every day at this level. As the first batter for the Muckdogs will be Cameron Connolly, the Pepperdine University commit. As the first pitch will be upstairs for a ball. Muckdogs, again, this game will not count towards their regular season record, as they're currently riding a 2-game win streak after wins this past Saturday and Sunday. Saturday on the road at Stal Magley Stadium, That's a nice hit by Cameron Connolly, hit deep in the gap, right center field. That's going to be a two-hopper to the wall. Cameron Connolly is going to get on his horse here as he is rounding second, and he will be standing up with a stand-up triple to lead off this one. Cameron Connolly with a shot in the gap. Got the 2-0 pitch he was looking for and made Theodorelis pay.
Batting second, left fielder, number 11, Blair Frederick.
That's a great way to start off your night if you're Cam Connolly. Even though he has limited at-bats, still hitting 300 up to this point. And now here's Blair Frederick. He's still looking for his first hit as a Muck Dog. A late addition to the roster due to him being an all-star in the NAIA Baseball League, as they do not have affiliation with the NCAA. One of the best NAIA schools in the country at Xavier University of Louisiana. Plays both outfield, and he's a great left-handed pitcher, as we saw this past weekend at Niagara in a 10-5 win. So left-handed Frederick finds himself in a 2-1 count here. And a pitch from Theodorelis, that will be outside. 3-1 now. So Muck Dogs wearing what have been, for the majority of the season, the home red uniforms. And they were on a 2-game win streak against Elmira last week, the home and home series. They decided to wear black for both of those games, but that one is hit into foul ground, and under it is the pitcher Nate Scott playing third base tonight. That'll be out number 1. So Frederick is retired on the F5 Muckdogs. Now here's big Daniel Burraway. Burraway so far this season is hitting .212 after a recent skid in the past few games. He's hitting .286 before the weekend. As even though this game will not count towards those stats, it's still very big for the confidence to get things going here, as a week ago from today, we saw Batavia lose 13-3 against the Mansfield Destroyers. And even though that game didn't count towards the record where they currently sit 5-5, it still gives you a bad taste in your mouth. And these guys were very upset with how they played. And they didn't want to take the night off either, as that one's hit out into deep center field. Chasing after it will be the center fielder, Kevin Serrano. He can't glove it, and Cameron Connolly will come around to score. So another deep ball hit into the gap as you hear the new fog horn that the Muck Dogs will be implementing every time we score a run. So Batavia will jump on with an early lead, as your score will be 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. That will be an RBI double for Burraway, as Serrano had to travel a long way in the gap. So far this season at Dwyer Stadium, balls really haven't been driven deep in the yard, but with tonight being as cool as it is now, seems like balls are jumping off the Muck Dogs' bats a lot more so far. So it'll be interesting to see as we get deeper into summer how the balls will travel. I always remember with the old Muck Dogs, when they got here in middle to late June, didn't really see as many deep shots in the gap or home runs, if you ever saw them here, with the walls being as tall as they are. 325 down the line and 400 in dead center. Pretty standard dimensions for a baseball field. Now here's the 1-1 to Charlie Saccounty. That one's hit the other way, out to left field. Under it is pitcher Logan Jones. Interesting technique there, but he does come down with the pop fly. That'll be 2 down in the inning as Mitch Fleming comes up. Fleming in the last home game on Friday night, so 2 Fridays ago. He actually had another clutch RBI double to make the deficit against the Geneva Red Wings just a little bit closer, as that one is first pitch swinging out into center field. Chasing after it is Serrano. He comes way in on it, and that will retire the side, as Peter Theodorelis does let up one run on 2 hits, 2 extra base hits by Cameron Connolly. And Daniel Burraway, Batavia leads in this one after 1 inning in the books, 1-0. And Kyle Kohlhofer is back on the mound after a strong first inning. 2 backwards Ks in a 1-2-3 inning. That one will be outside for ball 1. Had seen Kohlhofer with 2 appearances so far this season, after a start against Mansfield a week ago, and then 1 inning yesterday, as the game against Mansfield doesn't count towards his stats, and neither it will tonight, but with his 1 inning pitched yesterday, letting up no runs, has a perfect 0 ERA, so something to definitely be proud of. As Kohlhofer, that one will be smoked back up the middle by Ethan Buckley. And Elmira will have their first base runner of the night after the Ethan Buckley single. So if you do look at both lineups, they are 2 completely different philosophies. Elmira using this to rest a lot of their starters, and not to make a joke out of it per se, but definitely not putting their best product on the diamond with 3 pitchers playing in the field, as they do have other position players that could be using this time for at-bats and to gain more reps and valuable experience here this summer. While the Muckdogs might not have a lot of their starters out there, they are giving some more platoon guys, some role guys, the chance to prove what they can do. And it's a big confidence booster, regardless if this game is going to be a win or loss, or if it even counts. It's still valuable at-bats against a team that you're going to see a lot this season. And right now, they're neck and neck in the standings. So I do think that Skip Joe Martinez has the better philosophy in this one in terms of creating a great team atmosphere and a philosophy that's going to hopefully help them be better teammates. And this time, right now, a lot of the guys that are on the field all the time, like Jerry Reinhardt, for example, he's not playing tonight at third base, but he's cheering on Ethan Sarmiento as he's trying to get things rolling with the bat, because coming into the season, they thought Sarmiento was going to be a big spot in their lineup. And so far this season. He's still trying to get things going. So I do think that games like this, exhibition games, are very crucial for the guys. It's in a 1-2 count. That one's big swing and a miss by David Ferguson. Daddy hack is Kyle Kohlhofer picks up his third strikeout already.
Batting sixth, center fielder number 4.
Tomorrow's game, however, at Dunfield in Elmira, will count towards the standings. As the majority of these Monday games that the Muckdogs will be playing, a lot of them, again, are against Elmira, with Mansfield in there again in early July, as well as the Syracuse Saltcats, both teams in the the NYCBL. Kevin Serrano with the big swing and miss there. Serrano, one of those Corning Community College guys, as we saw them in their opening night when a lot of guys still had not reported yet for the Pioneers, and that one will scoot away from Joe Georger at first base, and Buckley decides, yep, I'm not going to think about going to third on that one. I'm just going to pump the brakes. As Buckley is a pitcher from SUNY Cortland, so somewhat of a local guy near Elmira. As Buckley's playing second. Nate Scott is playing third. Logan Jones is playing left field. These are all guys that are not position players and haven't hit really since high school. As there is another strikeout, this time against Kevin Serrano. He is still trying to get things going at the plate. Now here will be one of those pitchers that I was talking about. That one's hit deep into right field. Under it will be Christian Robinson, and after pretty nice contact by Nate Scott, he will be retired. And after one error on the throw by Kohlhofer, we'll get out of the inning unscathed, as your Muckdogs are still up 1-0 heading into the bottom half of the inning. And second inning action now, as Joe Georger is going to get things underway here in the bottom half of the inning. Joe Martinez was looking at his dugout, says everything's good, ready to go. Joe Georger getting some valuable at-bats here so far this season. He's hitting .286 in 7 at-bats with also a walk. It's also a late addition to the Muckdog lineup, as Georgia was playing in the Division III World Series. school that he attends, Washington University of St. Louis, is a powerhouse in Division III. And Georgia did see limited action this past season as he's just a sophomore. So, no, it's Division III. A lot of people get hung up on, Division I, II, and III. All Division III guys aren't as good, but when you go to a top 5 school in the country in Division III, those guys are extremely talented and could definitely be Division I players if they wanted to, as there's a rollover ground out, and second baseman Ethan Buckley makes a nice play and throws it over for the first out.
Next up, right fielder, number 42, Luis Rodriguez.
Here is Luis Rodriguez. Rodriguez also getting some valuable at-bats here in what is considered a very talented outfield that the Muckdogs possess, with guys like Christian Robinson, who's getting valuable experience today. Spencer Marcus, Abner Benitez, a teammate of Rodriguez at Alabama State. So have guys like Sterling Turman, who will be coming back soon, as there's a great opposite field hit by Luis Rodriguez. All the opportunities that Rodriguez has got up to this point, we've seen him excel. Had a start in the 9-0 loss against Jamestown, and he's one of those guys that put the ball in play, had a hit when a lot of guys on the Muckdogs didn't really have their best days at the plate. So now here's Ethan Sarmiento from Malloy College, also trying to get things going here. This is the whole point of these exhibition games. Have nothing to lose if you're Skip Martinez. Still getting competitive at-bats. A guy like Sarmiento, who is still awaiting his first hit of the season. Great time for him if he puts the ball in plays. That one was a little hit and run on the 2-0. That one was fouled back. Sarmiento has been putting the ball in play, and sometimes he's been hitting it right at guys. It's also, his plate discipline has gotten better. A lot of swing and misses on expanding the zone and 3-pitch strikeouts. And Skip Martinez sat him down and told him, you're a much better hitter than this. You just have to know that in yourself and accept that and believe in yourself. And since then, we've seen an attitude change with tonight's starting third baseman, and we're all hoping that he can excel, as that one will be popped up to the right side. Chasing after it, it's Buckley. That's going to drop. We get to the ground, and safe at second base will be Rodriguez. Interesting is not a lot of communication, with Buckley having to run a long way, and right fielder, who is, again, also a pitcher, Chris Mattoon, don't really play those positions a whole lot. So back-to-back singles, that's going to count for Sarmiento, with neither second baseman or right fielder getting a glove on it. That's considered a hit. Now here's Trey Bacon, a guy that has been dealing with a nagging wrist injury that hindered him this past year at Tallahassee Community College. Because he's also like Blair Frederick in the fact that he is a dual, so he is both a pitcher as well as a middle infielder. I haven't seen him defensively yet, still trying to get things going with the bat. He's fully cleared to pitch. We've seen him in a start as well as a relief appearance against Elmira. So that one will be upstairs by Theodorelis. Trey Bacon did have a pinch hit at bat in the 10-5 win against the Niagara Power this past Saturday, his first at bat of the season. So he did have a ground out to second base, but he can move down the line, made it look effortless. He almost beat out. Taylor-made ground ball out. That one, big swing and a miss by Bacon on the 3-1. Theodorelis, for a guy that does pitch at Malloy College, but not consistently. Actually, he's a pretty good pitcher. Is that one's going to be in there for a strike. Looks a little low. So that'll be out number 2 as Bacon is sent down looking. Center fielder Christian Robinson. Robinson this season is hitting 154. Again, a limited sample size. 13 at-bats, has been walked already 2 times. His start against Elmira last week. Robinson that time will foul it away. Excuse me for not updating the score bug for you watching. Again, I'd like to thank you all for watching tonight's coverage of Batavia Muckdog baseball. 2 men on, and an 0-2 count. Here is Christian Robinson, the Clark State outfielder. That one will be swung on and missed, and Theodorelis gets out of a little jam. The score is still 1-0 after 2 innings. And Kyle Kohlhofer will go back on the mound as he has been dealing so far up to this point with 4 strikeouts already, with just 1 base run. We'll be back in a minute here at Dwyer Stadium. Top of the 3rd inning here on YouTube Live with Batavia Muckdog baseball coverage. As Kyle Kohlhofer is back on the bump, facing the bottom of the Pioneer order that is full of pitchers. So pitchers get a fun experience as all pitchers want to be hitters. Always want to take batting practice in college, and that one goes right off the face of Mitch Fleming on a hop. 1-1 count. Mitch Fleming yesterday caught an amazing game, called a great game as well in the 5-0 win against Newark. And he told me after the game that was the first game that he has caught in over a year and a half, and I would have had no idea that was the case. Looks like a complete natural out there as he's filling in for both Bryce Mortellaro and Joey Battaglia, who are dealing with injuries. And there are rumors around the clubhouse that there might be. That one is looped in and will go down for a hit. So the pitcher gets a hit. The Elmira bench is going absolutely berserk after that single. Into shallow center field. So Logan Jones gets a hit. The Samford 6'3" pitcher. But there are rumors that Muckdogs will be adding another catcher to the roster as they are not near the cap of how many guys that they can have on a team, with a few that have not came for a variety of reasons. There's a great slider there by Kohlhofer to tonight's right fielder, Chris Mattoon. Mattoon attends Alfred State College. 0-2, that one. Funny looking swing, fouled back. So I wouldn't want to say that Elmira's making a joke out of tonight's exhibition game, but definitely aren't using this time to their advantage for guys who would just rather rest, not risk injury or anything like that. That one will be strike 3. Not a big call by our umpire there. As Kyle Kohlhofer picks up his 5th strikeout already. Padding the stat book, which unfortunately, due to it being an exhibition game, stats probably won't be counting. But again, great time for Kyle to gain some confidence. His first appearance of the year did not go according to plan, as that is another throwaway on a pickoff attempt. And the pitcher, Nate Jones, he's going to go 3. Cameron Connolly's going to throw it in. There's a slide by the pitcher, Logan Jones. So he'll go first to third after Kohlhofer spikes one. That'll be the second error by Kohlhofer on the pickoff attempt. Count is still 1-0. A man on third with 1 out. Alex Sweeney at the plate. Sweeney, pitcher at North Essex Community College. Seeing him on the mound twice against the Muckdogs. As the 2-0 also misses. Kyle Kohlhofer threatening to, he's going to call his shot on the 3-0. Elmira's sure having fun tonight. As that is a 4-pitch walk. Now there's runners on the corners. Back to the top of the lineup now. It'll be catcher Sam Polanco, Corning Community College player. There are 3 on the roster. Polanco, Serrano, and Yeomans all playing tonight. And the 2 men from North Essex, Tom Catiano and Alex Sweeney, have seen Catiano pitch against the Dogs. That was a foul ball. Runners on the corners, like I said. Pitchers on base, Jones and Sweeney. So they're going to try to steal. They're going to have the throw-over attempt, and that one, it will be safe, as Mitch Fleming couldn't come up with it. So they put the runner in motion, Alex Sweeney. Logan Jones darts for home, and after a one-hop throw by Ciccone, Fleming can't come up with it, and your score is now 1-1. Another man, now he's just at third. Sweeney, who was just walked, I was just 90 feet away from scoring, as Kevin Serrano hits a deep fly ball out to left field. That'll go off the wall. Chasing after it is Blair Frederick. He will throw it in, and Elmira now has the lead 2-1. So both pitchers score. And Serrano with a stand-up double. Pretty impressive stuff. I was expecting some not very competitive at-bats from the pitchers at the bottom of the lineup, but they had good plate discipline. Logan Jones with the looping single that started things off here in the third inning. And Sam Polanco, who is a traditional hitter, has a middle fastball that he got absolutely all of. There's another guy, Reese Yeomans, who plays at Corning Community College. That one looked good, but it would be a ball. So Blanco is credited with the RBI on the stand-up double. That one will also be low by Kohlhofer. As we still don't see any action in the pen. Gonna have Kyle get out of this one by himself. As he's going to third, and Polanco gets a great jump on Kohlhofer, and there's just no chance for Fleming to throw that one. Very interesting turn of events here in the top of the third after the Muckdogs cruised into having 4 hits. Infield will now be in for the Dogs as there's another 4-pitch walk by Kohlhofer, and I think it's time for maybe Joe Martinez to go out there and talk to his pitcher. Now we see some guys getting hot in the Muckdog pen.
Pitcher number 9, Peter Theodorellis.
So runners back on the corners. Peter Theodorellis, who we've seen play outfield, but he also is a pitcher as well at Malloy. One is also outside. Kohlhofer running into some trouble here with 1 out in the top of the third with runners on the corners. Facing the number 3 man in the Pioneer lineup. So he has a throw over there. This time will be right on the money to Joe Georgia. Yeoman's at first, Polanco at third. The 1-0 now. That one will clip the corner. Nice change up by Kohlhofer. As for a game that was looking for a very long time to be rained out, we actually have a pretty good crowd here on a Monday night at Dwyer Stadium. That one just misses arm side as well by the right-hander from Fayetteville Technical. Kohlhofer gets the sign on the 2-1. He'll deliver home. That one will also be there. Really working away to Peter Theodorellis. The 2-2 now. One will also be there, and there is another backwards K, his second so far today. Now there's 2 down.
Second baseman number 37, Ethan Buckley.
That takes out the need for a double play ball to make sure that run doesn't score. You can just get the force out at first or second with Ethan Buckley, another pitcher due up here. Buckley attends SUNY Cortland. He had the first hit here tonight for the Pioneers. Kohlhofer trying to get out of the jam here. That's a rollover over to Ciccone. He's going to backhand it. Buckley with a lot of speed over there, and Joe Georgia with a good stretch. So Kyle Kohlhofer will get out of it after letting up 2 runs here in the top of the third off 2 hits and 2 runners left on base. So it could have been a lot worse as the Muckdogs now had to get back into this one as they find themselves down 2-1. We'll take this time to thank some of our sponsors for everything that they do to keep baseball here in Batavia.
It's now time to recognize our service
Batavia Downs. Batavia Downs Gaming and Hotel is the area's premier entertainment destination with great restaurants, events, and on-site hotel. Be sure to check them out at BataviaDownsGaming.com. Ficarella's Pizza. Ficarella's of Batavia is where you can get your fix to satisfy your cravings for piping hot pizza, sumptuous subs, and mouth-watering wings. Every Friday, enjoy Ficarella's fabulous fish fry. Don't forget the fixed plate, fat wraps, and all your favorite pasta dishes. And they have blueberry and raspberry barbecue sauce that tastes great on wings. So when you're have that craving for delicious food, get your fix at Ficarella's Pizza on Liberty Street in Batavia. I'd also like to thank Noah Hoy Chiropractic. This game is sponsored by Dr. Noah Hoy, the official team chiropractor of the Batavia Muckdogs, located at 184 Washington Avenue in Batavia. For an appointment, please call 585-343-9316. Another one of our sponsors, Tompkins Bank of Castile, who sponsored tonight's starting lineups. Tompkins Bank of Castile is a community bank that was founded in 1869. They now have 15 offices in 6 counties across the Western New York region. Services include complete lines of consumer deposit accounts and loans, business accounts and loans, and leasing. In addition, insurance is offered through an affiliate company, Tompkins Insurance Agencies. Wealth management, trust, and investment services provided through Tompkins Financial Advisors. Other sponsors we'd like to thank are Alex's Place, Eli Fish Brewing Company, United Memorial Medical Center, and New York 529 College Savings. As Peter Theodorelis is ready to go, we have the bottom of the 3rd inning here with the Pioneers up 2-1 as they have 2 hits on 3 runs. And top of the lineup due back up for the Dogs. Cameron Connolly led this game off with a triple in the right center gap. Here's Conley. So far this season now hitting above 300 as he came into this one 3 for 10. So here's Theodorelis on the 0-1. That one will also be in there for a strike. Seems like Theodorelis actually has some pretty good command of his off speed. Sit at 5'7", 180 pounds from Malloy College. The time is called by Cam Conley. I'd like to remind you all that are now tuning in that tonight is actually an exhibition game, even though it's 2 teams that are both in the PGCBL. Head owner Robbie Nichols of Can USA Sports owns both of these teams. He owns both the Elmira Pioneers, who he's owned for the past 10 years, and this is year number 1 with the Muckdogs translating from minor league baseball to the Perfect Game League as that one just misses. Nice slider there by Theodorelis. And due to him owning both of these teams, these 2 teams do play a lot against one another. And that one will be strike 3 as Connolly looks at it. Now there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Left fielder number 11, Blair Frederick.
That one is drilled by Blair Frederick right over the head of Buckley. And Blair Frederick gets his first hit as a Muckdog. Excuse me while I was not talking too much. I'll try to give you a little bit of a look. These kids down there were shaking the entire protective netting down there, so that's something that I had to keep an eye on. Make sure that I'm not doing anything too serious here. As the throw over by Theodorelis is not in time. Will definitely be going late into the Batavia night as it's already 8:47. First pitch was at 8:04. Hour later than scheduled due to the weather. Daniel Burraway due up here. He has the only RBI for the Muckdogs up to this point. He had a double. There's Frederick getting few throws over as his speed is being watched at first base. Theodorelis now with his first pitch to Daniel Burraway as Frederick will be in motion. A strong throw by Polanco, and that one's going to get into center field. Going for 3rd is Blair Frederick, and he will be standing up as that will be a stolen base. And then with the ball trickling away from the middle infielders Yeomans and Buckley, he's standing at 3rd now. Blair Frederick steals on the first pitch of the at-bat to Burraway. Now he's standing just 90 feet away. That one will be just outside. Make the count 2-0. Blair Frederick standing at 3rd. Theodorelis on the mound. That one 2-0 inside fastball that's jammed off to the right side. Tonight is our mascot Dewey's birthday. Due to the weather, unfortunately, a lot of the plans that we had with Dewey had to be postponed. So he had a lot of his mascot friends here in attendance, which is very unfortunate. That one was fouled off, 2-2. And on third, there's Burroway, as he will stay alive with 3 straight foul balls here. With it being Dewey's birthday, we'd like to thank Buttercrumb Bakery. It's located near Batavia and actually provided us with a birthday cake for Dewey that was going to be cut right behind home plate. And all the fans 12 and under were able to get a slice of birthday cake, but due to the situation, everything had to be canceled. So hopefully next year for Dewey's birthday, we will have better weather here at Dwyer Stadium. So that other 2-2 pitch is spoiled off by Burroway. There's Theodorellis again, and there's a great off-speed pitch that throws Burroway. Now there's 2 down.
Shortstop number 5, Charlie Ciccone.
So Theodorellis impressive on the mound. With Charlie Ciccone up now. He flew out to left field in his first trip. Just want to see some more balls in play, something that the Muckdogs had been working on. Limiting those strikeouts and with runners in scoring position to bring them in, as that one's hit sky high to right field, and the pitcher Mattoon will be under it. So Blair Frederick is stranded at third. Elmira will still be in the lead 2-1 as we will take a quick break. As we are a third of the way complete here at Dwyer Stadium with Elmira up 2-1. Kyle Kohlhofer is still on the mound as George Osborne is warming up in the Muckdog pen. Another guy that can still use a little bit more experience, gain some confidence in the win against Elmira in the middle of last week. With a large cushion, came in, got 2 outs, and after talking to George later that night, said it was huge for him and a big monkey off of his back to have a much better appearance compared to his first, where he walked 4 straight batters. You can just tell he never felt comfortable up there. That one to Ferguson, a big swing and a miss. There is another strikeout for Kyle Kohlhofer.
Center fielder number 4, Kevin Serrano.
Now has his first out here in the fourth with Kevin Serrano up. He is also a strikeout victim with Ferguson's 2 at-bats, both being strikeouts. Same thing with Theodorelis. That one's put into play over to County. At short, a bullet over to Georgia. And now there's 2 down. Music man Tom over there playing some mind games with the Pioneers. Another one bites the dust.
Now available for Elmira for 21, Chris Erickson.
Here is Kohlhofer again, trying to get a 1-2-3 inning. Excuse me. Muckdogs down 1 in the top of the 4th inning. We're supposed to get another pretty bad sell here in Batavia. Looks like it's going to go off to tonight. It's 1-2-3 goes Kyle Kohlhofer after a rough 3rd inning. He does very well here.
Dog, if you're ready, we'll send it down.
Now we'll go to the bottom half of the inning with the Muckdogs trying to come back in this one as they find themselves 2-1. And leading things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Muckdogs will be the number 5 man in the Muckdog lineup, Mitch Fleming, who is catching tonight and flew out to center field in his first trip to the plate. So with the Muckdogs, with a lot of their platoon players, their role players, as said in some other sports, everyday starters in the lineup, getting a lot of valuable experience, some at-bats that, well, it's great for these guys to have. Is you never know. Baseball's a weird game when you start to get things going. Just got to go with the guy that's hot. As Fleming finds himself in a hole here. Pitch by Theodorelis will be high. Beautiful here at Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York, as Muckdogs currently sit at 5-5 in the season. It's a swing and a miss. Got the count wrong there. Sorry, folks. It's now 2-2. Was 2-1 instead of 1-2. And the pitch, that one swung and fouled off to the left side. So the Muckdogs are 5-5 currently, riding a 2-game win streak. Very competitive games, as the first few games, it was whole unison across the team that they were beating themselves, and they knew it as that one swung in the dirt. tagged out, as Mitch Fleming is not a fan of that tag, as Mitch Fleming is a big guy and Sam Polanco is not. So that's probably not the smartest thing to do if you were Polanco. Theodorelis with another strikeout here, his 4th of the game. Well, here is the left-handed hitter, Joe Georger, playing first base tonight. Skipper Martinez really described him as a contact machine, the type of guy that's going to do whatever he can to put the ball in play. As we have seen time and time again, and early in the count, 2-strike approach, he's doing whatever he can, as that one looked low and outside, but will be called for a strike. Elmira so far this season is sitting at 6-4. 3 of their losses so far coming at the hands of the Muckdogs, as there is another slider, this time in the dirt. Two to 1 is your score, with Elmira in the lead, as these two teams will also face off again tomorrow. That one's hit to the left side. Nice play made by someone in the bullpen, I believe it was Nate Novia, to come up with the grab. Theodorelis now. He'll get the sign, and he'll deliver. And will trickle away from Polanco and get to the backstop. Count is now even at 2-2. Georgia then struck out on a changeup way out in front. So 2 strikeouts now in the inning for Theodorelis. Theodorelis is not nearly throwing as fast as some other guys that they've been accustomed to so far this season. And even yesterday, Newark threw Robinson, I believe. He was all off speed, a lot of slow changeups and sliders, rarely any fastballs, and if they were, they're low 8s probably. But they were putting the ball in play, a lot of pop up, excuse me. Just not having those competitive at-bats that they've been looking for. Now the count is 0-2. Rodriguez spoils one there, as he had an opposite field single in his first trip. It's Theodorelis trying to strike out the side. One will be high. Maybe that is a kryptonite for some of these hitters. I knew personally I never really enjoyed hitting off slower pitchers. It really messed up with my timing. I saw a pitch that I knew was going to be a strike, but I just got so eager to want to go out there and tattoo it into the gap that my weight would get out of my front foot, and that creates pop flies. That one will be outside. So this count gets away from Theodorelis, as it was 0-2. Now it's full with 2 outs. You're in the bottom of the 4th. So we have the payoff pitch by Theodorelis. That one will be in there for strike 3. The inning is over. That one looks low, but Theodorelis strikes out the side here in the 4th, as the Malloy pitcher and outfielder has now 6 strikeouts on the ballgame. We'll be back here with 5th inning action in just a few minutes.
For your
And Kyle Kohlhofer's day will be done. George Osborne now on the bump for the Muckdogs. It's the lefty from Alcorn State. We'll get things going here in the fifth as his first pitch is a strike. Osborne's first batter face will be the left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher, Logan Jones. Osborne, 2 appearances so far this season. That one will be fouled off to the right side. So far this season, 3 games, 2 innings pitched for Osborne. 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Count is 2-2. Logan Jones from Samford University. One is low. So now the count will be full. As Osborne is facing his first batter of the game. Make sure he doesn't get the free pass. As the payoff pitch is swung on and missed. And a great way to get back in the count there and a nasty pitch by Osborne.
Number 33, Chris Mattoon.
Here's Chris Mattoon. His first at-bat, he did strike out. He is tonight's Eli Fish K-Man. So everybody in attendance, if Mattoon strikes out 3 times, gets a free appetizer at Eli Fish here in Batavia. And Osborne, nice first pitch there to get things started. One just misses. That's 1-1. Osborne, the lefty redshirt sophomore, is looking to transfer from Alcorn State. Just entered the transfer portal. That one still looks a little low, but Osborne filling the strike zone here. 1-2 count from Detroit, Michigan. His freshman year at Alcorn State struck out 28 batters in 50 innings pitched. There is another one as you're just 1K away from free appetizers here from Eli Fish, as that is Mattoon's second strikeout. So first 2 batters faced. Both go down on punchies. Granted, they are pitchers, but still a great feeling if you're Osborne. First pitch is a ball to Sweeney, who was walked just 4 pitches. Puts that one in play, but foul. I'd like to thank you all watching for another edition of Batavia Muckdog Baseball here on YouTube Live. These games both here at Dwyer Stadium and on the road across the West Division will be available for you to watch wherever we go. Bringing you all the action that will unfold this season. So very lucky to be doing this and love every second of it. Recently getting some more equipment as the season goes on. Just got an audio board. I've gotten a lot of feedback that my current headset gets a lot of background noise. So we need some upgrades to be able to control that noise, and really excited to test that out, as well as some other mics and a lot of other things in store that I want to just continue to give this team the best possible coverage that I can. It's a lot of growing. First year team, my first year doing this, only 19 years old, just learning on the fly. I've been loving every minute of it. Watching my hometown team get back the team that they love so much. This is a baseball town without a doubt. So the 0-0 to the leadoff man, Sam Polanco, who is behind the plate. As I wonder if Mitch Fleming, who gave him a little look back after Fleming had a drop third strike and was tagged hard by Polanco. That one is going to be out of the reach by Sakowin, and going to third will be Sweeney. Sweetney with some speed. 2 outs. Decides to round second. Paid off for him as a little loopy hit by Polanco. We'll now have runners on the corners with 2 outs. It's a prime example of limiting those walks, because we've seen time and time again the bullpen get into trouble with 2 outs or regardless of the situation and give the free pass. And it's like regardless of the situation, comes back to bite him. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. Elmira up 1. With runners on the corners and Reese Yeomans up for the Pioneers. Polanco and Yeomans both attend Corning Community College. That one is put into play over to Conley, and he will glove it in and over now. George Osborne gets out of the jam. 2 strikeouts. No runs will cross as Elmira still with that 1-run lead. Ethan Sarmiento, Trey Bacon, and Christian Robinson will be due up as we will head in to the bottom of the 5th inning.
No.
Peter Theodorelis is still on the mound for the Pioneers, as he already has pitched 4 innings in this one, just allowing 1 run. That came back in the 1st inning. So here is Sarmiento. Just picked up his first hit of the season. Had to feel good, even though it wasn't a barrel or anything. Still saw the ball drop into the outfield. Had to be a big sigh of relief for him. Fouled that last one away. That one will be right down Broadway. The count is 0-2. Muckdogs trying to muster up some hits in this one. Do have more hits than Elmira. They're winning that category 5-4, and a big swing and miss by Sarmiento on the elevated fastball. He would be retired on the strikeout. So 4 straight batters that Theodorelis has set back to the bench. Trey Bacon.
8 out of 10, Brett.
I am now looking at the book. 8 out of his last 10 batters faced, he has retired via the strikeout. Pretty absurd stat from a guy that's not a straight PO, pitcher only. It's been an interesting night here at the ballpark. 4 batters in the Elmira lineup that are traditional pitchers. That one's put into play over to the left side, and that one will bounce off Yeoman's glove and get into the outfield. So Trey Bacon reaches base. That will be a hit for Bacon.
Center fielder number 2.
Bacon reaches.
Robinson.
Now the number 10 man in the Muckdog lineup, Christian Robinson, steps in. Trying to get things going as well, as he's found himself as kind of the replacement for Sterling Turman out in center field due to what he brings defensively, as well as his speed, and can put runners in motion, laying a bunt down, and definitely plays small ball. Coach Martinez really working with him having a little bit more of a level swing, and sometimes it does get a little loopy from what I've realized in batting practice. And due to his speed, if he continues to put the ball on the ground, he's giving himself a much larger chance to reach base instead of popping it up. It's a message that Joe Martinez continues to relate to him, as Trey Bacon will fake the steal and just stay at first, and that one is on the outer third on a strike call to Robinson. 1-2 now. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The Muckdogs trying to at least get one more tally across to tie this one here in the bottom of the 5th. That one broken bat sawed off over to the right side. Coming over will be the second baseman, Buckley. And another broken bat for Robinson this season. Does move the runner, however. Now there's a man in scoring position with 2 outs.
Second baseman number 15, Cameron Conley.
After that broken bat, we'd like to thank the official bat of the Batavia Muckdogs, Gap to Gap. They are a bat company located down south. Have guys like Yoan Moncada in the major leagues signed with them that uses their lumber. And the Muckdogs will be using their bats shortly, as Gap to Gap was gracious enough to send a dozen bats to the Muckdogs. They are fully customized in red and black, different sizes for the guys. We are very excited to see what those are going to look like, as that changeup was elevated and hit high into center field. Chasing after it will be the center fielder Serrano, and a man left on the base pass as Peter Theodorellis has a pretty solid outing with 8 out of 10 batters faced at one point in this inning. Went down via the strikeout. Trey Bacon gets on after the single, and he will retire the next 2 men in the Muckdog order, as Elmira will maintain that 1-run lead with 5 innings complete in this one. And George Osborne is ready to go as he will face the opposing pitcher on the Pios, Peter Theodorellis, who is the number 3 man in the Pioneer lineup. He's went down 2 times so far on the strikeout. Both have been looking so far. That one's fouled off to the left side, but foul. So the lefty on lefty matchup here. Next, he will face the pitcher who's playing second base tonight, Ethan Buckley. And then David Ferguson. Here the 2-1. That one is fouled away. Even it up at 2-2. Getting some Let's Go Ohio chants in the chat. I'd like to say that we're missing Mr. Jonathan Clement in the booth tonight. He had some personal matters to deal with, but I believe that he will be all good and ready to go tomorrow. Muckdogs will travel to Dunn Field in that one. It is a walk by George Osborne. So that 3-2 was way up there. Theodorellis will now be on first. And here's Ethan Buckley. He did have a single in his first trip, back in the second. We'll be low and inside. But again, for what looked like we weren't going to have any baseball here tonight, things did clear up, thankfully. And a lot of fans were in attendance sitting underneath the metal awning in the grandstands, staying dry. They wanted to wait and see what the final call was going to be by our umpires here tonight, as well as owner Robbie Nichols. Time has been called. So Georgia's going to come over and talk to his pitcher. Calm him down a little bit. We do have a man hot in the pen. It will be the extra hitter tonight who just had a single in his last inning, Trey Bacon, in a relief appearance. That one will also miss outside. So back-to-back walks by Osborne. And Buckley will reach base safely for the second time.
First baseman, number 35, David Ferguson.
You're in the top of the 6th inning, 2 men on, no outs. David Ferguson due up now. Ferguson wearing the helmet of his University of Pittsburgh teammate, Dom Popa, who does have the night off tonight. Absolutely be towards the top of the Pioneer lineup tomorrow. He is a great young pitcher. That one swung out and missed. Could maybe see Jack Sokol tomorrow, the Auburn University starting pitcher. I've already seen him twice this year. I just think with how the rotation has been and certain days of the week that these two teams play each other, seems like that's going to be a matchup that we will consistently have throughout the year. It's now the 1-2. And stepping off, Theodorellis is going to go, and he swipes third. Theodorellis, looking at his stature, might not be a guy that you think is going to be a threat on the base pass, but just timed that one out perfectly. Osborne not giving many looks over. That'll be costly. Now there's runners on the corners with no outs. Looks like Trey Bacon is really rushing to try to get warm here. Two and 2 count to Ferguson, who has struck out 2 times today. Runner goes. Going to throw it to second, and the ball will get away from Cameron Connolly, and Peter Theodorellis will easily score. Another play with runners on the corners as Pioneers go in motion, and neither time the execution has been there for the Dogs as they now will trail 3-1. Ethan Buckley will now be at third in a full count. It seems like Osborne here is just out of gas. 3-2. That pitch swung on and dropped, but Fleming throws it over, and staying stationary will be Buckley at third. So Osborne does get one out. Ferguson goes down for his third strikeout out of the day, trying to not have that golden sombrero. Here's Serrano. He's 0 for 2. He's going to put a bunt down, and Fleming tries to go after it, but just out of his reach. Suicide squeeze was maybe in effect there. So Osborne will get back and toe the rubber. The man on third here in the top of the 6th inning. The Muckdogs now down 2. Quickly the count. Osborne's ahead in 0-2. A lot of fans still here in attendance. It is now approaching 9:30. Nice frame there by Fleming to try to get a call on the outside corner with that curveball. Does not get it. We're back here now for the 1-2. Osborne delivers. Nice swing and miss there. Serrano is retired by the strikeout for the second time tonight. Now bring up pitcher Nate Scott.
This is Erickson.
Now, it's Chris Erickson. That one almost clips Erickson. Coming home now will be Buckley, and he will score. So they're saying that it hit him, and if it did, then the run can't score, as it did look like it clipped off of his pants. We'll wait and see what this call's going to be. So it looked like it absolutely ricocheted off Erickson. Martinez relays that message to the home plate umpire. Now they're going to have a quick meeting about it. I'd like to thank you all that are watching during this time. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors: Batavia Downs Gaming, Ficarella's Pizza, Alex's Place, Eli Fish Brewing Company, Noah Hoy Chiropractic, Tompkins Bank of Castile, United Memorial Medical Center, and New York 529 College Savings. We thank you. And a quick appeal, and the run will score. So nobody on, as there is another pitch that hits the backstop. Looks like he's just losing it here. Trey Bacon looks like he's ready to go. We'll probably start next inning on the mound. Is in a 2-0 count. He gets a rollover. Sarmiento gloves it. And Elmira will put 2 more runs here on the scoreboard to increase their lead to 4-1. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th inning with Blair Frederick, Daniel Burway, and Charlie County due up for the Dogs. 2, 3, and 4 in the order. So guys that can definitely get things started here. We'll be back in a minute here with YouTube live action of the Batavia Muckdogs. And here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Elmira will have a new pitcher as Gil Murad will be up on the mound for the Pios. They now have a 4-1 lead.
Murad now pitching for the Pioneers. Leading off for Batavia in the bottom of the 6th is the left fielder, number 11, Blair Frederick.
Blair Frederick comes up now. He's 1 for 2. Pitch from Murad, who plays at Ithaca College, is a catcher. So he doesn't get too many opportunities on the mound. 0-1. Rod, that's a great pitch on the outside corner, called for a strike. So the 0-2 to the dual outfielder and left-handed pitcher Frederick, as that one's fouled away. 1-2 count. Frederick stays alive with that foul ball. And Murad shakes off a few signs. That one swung on and missed. So Murad's first batter faced. He gets a strikeout. As you know, this game will not count towards either team's regular season record. But when you see the lineups, you see that at least the Muckdogs are putting a more competitive roster out on the field. That one hit foul by Burway. Putting a more competitive roster out there, the Muckdogs are, compared to Elmira with 4 pitchers playing positions and hitting, and you're still down in this one by 3 runs. It's really not the best look, and in somewhat of a manner, it is a little embarrassing. It's something that hopefully here in the last few innings the Muckdogs can change. Here's Daniel Burway. That one is ripped, and that will be a single in between the third baseman, Nate Scott, and shortstop, Reese Yeomans. So we do have a runner here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So Burway picks up his second hit of the ballgame. Charlie Ciccone now. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. Trying to get back in the hit column. As Ciccone so far this season is hitting .273. Very large sample size of 33 at-bats. 9 hits, 7 runs scored, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs. Also has a good walk to strikeout ratio. 5-5. Very even. Even killed is the utility man Ciccone from University of Wisconsin Stout, which is a Division III program, but just had their school record in batting average this past year at .371, so he's no slouch by any means. A relationship between Skip Martinez and Ciccone that goes back to their days together in the Ohio Valley League last summer. Ciccone told Skip Martinez, "I'll go wherever you decide to go." From Halo Heights, Illinois, long way from home. Seems like he is loving it so far here in Batavia. Now he finds himself in a full count with 1 out. A man on first in the bottom of the 6th inning. Muckdogs trailing by 3 runs. That one, big swing and a miss. And a strikeout for Gil Murad, his second of the inning. Got the pitch he was looking for. Couldn't catch up to it. Here's Mitch Fleming. Did strike out in his last at-bat. A lot of strikeouts here for the Muckdogs so far today. just counted, and so far 11 strikeouts so far for the Dogs. Daniel Burraway at first base. Time has been called. Fleming's going to tie his shoe. Fleming will get set. This might be a little tough for him to tie his shoes with the batting gloves on. He's ready to go. Catcher, first baseman from Montevallo University, a Division II school. That one, a curveball that just misses. 1-1. So here is Fleming. Just finished up his sophomore year. He's from Milton, Georgia. That one sky high in to the right center gap. Chasing after it is Serrano. And two runners collide, but they got the catch. Not sure which one came down with it, as that could have been very, very bad. I believe it was the right fielder, Chris Mattoon. They collided, but they just bounced right off of each other. Very thankful that didn't have a very bad consequence right there. So 6 innings through here as Elmira pulling out. Shocking lead so far up to this point. 4-1.
Logan Scott.
And George Osborne, after having some turbulence in the last inning, his day will be done. Trey Bacon was the extra hitter tonight, does have a single, will be in relief now. First pitch to left fielder tonight, and pitcher Logan Jones is a strike. 0-2. Also, for everybody at home, I mentioned that the man on deck, Chris Mattoon, is threatening to be the Eli Fish K-Man, as he needs just one more strikeout for all fans in attendance to bring their tickets up to nearby Eli Fish here in town, and they all get. Whereas Mitch Fleming will try to go back, and that one will be out of play. If everybody brings their ticket stub to Eli Fish, everybody here gets a free appetizer. So far, we've not seen that yet this season. We really even come close for that matter. It's always a nice, fun game here in the press box. Who we're going to pick each game. So it really is random. That one is also fouled in near the dugout, and that'll be in the first row of seats. As Big Mitch Fleming came in hot towards the men standing near the top of the dugout. It's a guy that when he's moving full steam ahead, you don't want to get in his way. So the 2-2 is hit into center field by the pitcher Jones, and under it will be Robinson, but still some pretty good contact for a guy that's not an everyday hitter. So now here is the man we were just talking about, Chris Mattoon. So let's see what tonight's Eli Fish K-Man does. There's one out here in the top of the 7th. Is that one way off the mark by Trey Bacon? Throws. That was probably 4 or 5 feet behind Mattoon. As now there's mind games up there. He's probably not very comfortable in the box to begin with as a pitcher. And then you see a lively fastball right there as that one was hit on the bat knob and foul. So Mattoon is probably thinking to himself right now, I have no idea what to expect here. And that one, big swing and a miss. And you just kind of feel bad for Mattoon at this point. So he's a pitcher from Alfred State. And here's the 1-2, and everybody will get the free appetizer as the Eli Fish K-Man is complete. And I'm going to take credit because I did actually pick Mattoon tonight, so I'm a little proud of myself. That one, he's hit on the first pitch. He saw Alex Sweeney, the pitcher, making a gesture towards Trey Bacon and his bench. And we might have something here, as we have some big men, Joe Martinez and Tony Brewington, going over to the Elmira bench, saying some stuff to the coaching staff, as now the whole Muckdogs pen is out, and this could get ugly here quick, as Tony Brewington and Joe Martinez are looking towards the bench. They must have said something not very flattering towards them. And Tony Brewington is a guy that you don't want to mess with. Again, these two teams are going to be playing each other a lot. And whatever he said, I mean, Tony is a great guy. He had to say something that was just completely disrespectful. And obviously, they had nothing that they wanted to say back to him, as now the third base coach is talking. And Tony Brewington telling the coach, hey, let's just play baseball. Whatever was said obviously was not something that should have been said. And the Elmira kids, I mean, that's just very disrespectful. Now they're sitting over there laughing. Let's have a little bit more class here. As they continue to laugh, continue to chirping back and forth, the home plate umpire is saying no to Blanco, as he was saying something to the bench as he's getting in the box. Again, not the best look here. With, you know, as much as these two teams are going to play, you're going to expect a rivalry. But again, I mean, just very disrespectful if you're going to talk to an opposing coach like that. I expect a little bit more Not too sure what was said again, but again, I've gotten to know the Muckdogs coaching staff pretty well. And obviously, Trey Bacon was not doing anything intentional by hitting Sweeney. We're hopefully back to baseball, and we don't have to deal with that ever again, because that is extremely frustrating as the pitcher's going to be in motion. Polanco's going to stand in the way of Fleming, so the pitcher will have a stolen base. And again, Elmira can have all the fun and games that they want tonight with this game not really meaning anything. Tomorrow will mean something, and will also, mind you, as that pitch looked in there for a strike. It was in the same exact spot as the last pitch. It was called a ball. 2-1. That pitch will also be outside. The Pioneers need a reminder that so far this season they are 6-4, and 3 of their losses have came against the Muckdogs. So maybe that's why the bad blood is ensuing here, as that one is in there for a strike, and the Muckdog bench hyping up Trey Bacon now. So with 2 outs in a full count, the man on second, and I can only imagine what's going to happen here after a strikeout. Here's the pitch. That one is outside. So Sweeney at second, Polanco at first. They're in the top of the 7th inning. And the first pitch to Reese Yeomans is in there for a strike. So now the fans are getting a little more involved. Still not nearly as big of a crowd as we have seen up to this point here at Dwyer, with it being a Monday. It's kind of what you expect in sports. Now, another swing and a miss here as Trey Bacon is now way ahead in the count, 0-2. And Trey Bacon, pitch here, curveball, nice block by Fleming as he had a pitch to waste, with it being 0-2. 1-2 now. Bacon will deliver home to Yeomans as that one is hit shallow right field. A sawed-off single. Rodriguez is going to come in. He has a bullet home, and they try to get the tag on, and the pitcher will score in Sweeney. So a good throw by Rodriguez home. Sweeney with a little bit of speed coming around, and your score will now be 4-1. 5-1, excuse me. Yeomans with the RBI single.
Pitcher number 6, Elmira.
2 outs still in the inning. That one will be outside by Bacon. Do have some action in the pen. Not too sure who is warming up. Nobody out there for Elmira. As Gil Murad will be back on the bump. Don't want to waste too many bullpen arms. Again, in an exhibition game that will not count towards either team's record. I'd like to thank you all for watching tonight's action here at Dwyer Stadium. And the 1-1 is hit over to the right side. Loving it will be Joe Georger, and covering will be Bacon. So inning over. Elmira, after a debacle with the head coaches going over to confront the Pioneers. Pioneers wanted no part of it. They will score 1 run. The score is 5-1. It's time to stretch here at Dwyer Stadium. Let's see what else ensues here in the latter half of the game. So after it was time to stretch, Take Me Out to the Ball Game was sung. We are back here in what was just a crazy, crazy last half of the inning. Something was said by the Elmira bench that was deemed pretty disrespectful, as the entire Muckdog bench, bullpen, and coaching staff went out there to talk to the Elmira dugout that wanted no part of whatever was said. Again, today's action does not technically count towards the standings. It's just an exhibition game. It's time for both teams to get some valuable at-bats. Time for more baseball for both of these teams. 2-1 count. It's Elmira, the catcher. That one swung on and hit over the outstretched glove of David Ferguson. And after some trouble by Chris Mattoon, the right fielder, will throw the ball in, and a nice leadoff single here for the Muckdogs.
Right fielder number 42, Luis Rodriguez.
Luis Rodriguez. Rodriguez is 1 for 2, facing the catcher in Murad. That is a curveball that's dropped in there for a strike. Very nice pitch from the Ithaca College catcher. His teammate at Ithaca playing in left field, pitcher Nate Scott, third base Nate Scott. And left field is Logan Jones. 1-1 count. Man on first is Georgia. The pitch, check swung, but he did not cross the plane. So Rodriguez gets ahead in the count, 2-1. Rodriguez this past year at Alabama State, limited action, less than 10 at-bats. That one swung on and hits a right field. Chasing after it is Mattoon. He'll go over to his left and secure the first out.
Third baseman number 10, Ethan Sarmento.
After the F9 to get the first out, Ethan Sarmento is also 1 for 2. The Muckdogs so far in this one have 8 hits and still find themselves down 5-1. They have 3 more hits than the Pios. So there's a slider in there for a strike. 0-1 count to the Muckdog third baseman. Waits on that one just a little too long. Fouled off to the right side. So Sarmento in another 0-2 hole. Elmira back ready to go. Sarmento opening his stands a little bit, trying to get the ball in play with 2 strikes. As he will foul off another ball to stay alive. This time, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors: Batavia Downs Gaming, Ficarella's Pizza, Alex's Place, Eli Fish Brewing Company, Noah Hoy Chiropractic, Tompkins Bank of Castile, United Memorial Medical Center, and New York 529 College Savings. Thank you for everything that you do. And Sarmento will not expand the zone there. Swing at the curveball in the dirt. One and 2 count with 1 out. Here at Dwyer Stadium. Monday night. So all the fans in attendance will receive a free appetizer and another expanded fastball elevated in the zone that will retire Sarmento. Second straight strikeout.
Pitcher number 6, Trey Bacon.
Trey Bacon, who is now pitching. We'll get up here as it's getting very interesting here at Dwyer Stadium. Who's coming in, pitchers playing in the field, position players pitching, a lot of different things here tonight. That's what you'll see in a game that won't affect your record. These 2 teams will play tomorrow night in Elmira. The game will count. The 0-1, that one's put into play. Yeomans will glove it, and he'll just step on second base. So after the leadoff single by Joe Georger, they can't get anybody around to score. So score will be still 5-1 with the Pios leading. There are just 2 more innings left to play. Just a few warm-up pitches by Trey Bacon, and we're ready to go here on YouTube Live with more coverage of your Batavia Muckdogs. As the first pitch is put into play by Ethan Buckley. Gloving it is Joe Georger to get out number 1.
First baseman number 35, David Ferguson.
So Elmira is up in this one after starting the game with 4 position players hitting and playing in the field. Riding 2 innings where they scored 2 runs back in the 3rd and 6th innings. And then tacking on another one in the 7th as the Muckdogs got up early in the 1st, 1-0. And since then, the Pios have 5 runs unanswered. The Muckdogs are getting base runners. They just, again, can't get around to score. This count is now quickly 0-2. That one will be fouled off the leg of Ferguson. Buckley was retired first. Here's Ferguson, as that is a great pitch by Trey Bacon to get the second out. Great off-speed pitch there. And Ferguson, with that one, gets the golden sombrero, the 4-strikeout day for tonight's first baseman. Kevin Serrano. As Bacon's trying to go 1-2-3. He looks dialed in this 8th inning tonight. This is the 0-1. That one is put into play softly over to Conley. And he'll one-hop it, and quickly. That was a very great inning by Trey Bacon. Probably the best we've seen him so far this season. So 1-2-3 goes Bacon. We'll go to the bottom half of the inning with the Muckdogs trying to make a dent in this 4-run lead that Elmira currently possesses. And Billy Wildeman now pitching for the Pios.
Number 21.
We'll have a pinch hitter, Abner Benitez, who is a staple at 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the Muckdog lineup. We've seen him used in different ways, but he started every other game until tonight. He's going to get an at-bat here to start things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning, as he will replace Christian Robinson. Cameron Connolly due up next, and then Blair Frederick in the hole. First pitch by Wildeman is in there for a strike. That pitch is fouled away by Benitez. So far this season for Abner, he is second on the team in batting average, hitting .357 in 10 games played, 42 at-bats with 15 hits, 10 runs scored, a double, a triple, and 2 home runs with 6 RBIs. Seeing that he is one of the most complete hitters in the Perfect Game League right now. And his corner outfield teammate, Spencer Marcus, is the exact same way. Benitez filling in for Christian Robinson. And the 2-2 from Wildeman, fouled back. So he's fighting to start things off here. As the Muckdogs, again, have 8 hits so far. They just haven't really done much else when they get guys on base. Not moving runners along, and too many strikeouts. Not putting the ball in play. And again, which makes complete sense with so many pitchers out there playing out on the field. They're not in their normal spots. As hit some more pop flies. You never know if one of these guys might drop them in the field. And the full count. That one's hit over Buckley's way, and that's going to get into the outfield as Abner Benitez hits a frozen rope over to Buckley on the backhand, and he can't come up with it. And yes, Mr. Jones, Logan Jones, hitting .333. Pretty impressive for a pitcher that's probably not hit consistently since he was in high school. So it's always great to see the pitchers excel at the plate. Now here's the top of the order. Cam Connolly with the strike call. Looked a little outside. As Benitez, on that last one, will get on base. And that one low in the dirt. Blocked, but a ball. As that was a hit for Benitez. Now with Cameron Connolly up. That one will be fouled away to the right side. Chasing after it is the first baseman, Ferguson, who will watch it go out of play. 1-2 count, as the temperature has really dropped here in Batavia. With all the rain today, was a decently hot day earlier today. Had some rain throughout the mid-afternoon. It stopped. It was sunny. It looked beautiful. And then right around 6 o'clock, some clouds rolled in as that's deep. And we'll get again in the same spot where he had his last hit. Cameron Connolly will be up for extra bases as there's 2 men in scoring position with no outs here. As Cameron Connolly picks up his second extra base hit of the night, giving the Muckdogs a great chance to capitalize in this situation.
Fielder number 11,
Connolly doing a great job letting the ball travel through the zone and letting it go into the opposite field. A lot of real estate out here at Dwyer Stadium. And now here's Blair Frederick. Infield will be playing back. They're not needing to just give up the run. As that's going to go 5-hole. Abner Benitez is going to come around and score. The score is 5-2. That's bringing a little bit of life back to the Muckdog bench. An actual pitcher comes into the game, Wildeman, and They're selling off of him. Wildeman is also from Malloy. A teammate of starting pitcher tonight, Peter Theodorelis. That one is popped up. Chasing after it will be the third baseman tonight, Nate Scott. Or no, excuse me, there was a change. It's Erickson now. Nate Scott started there tonight at third.
Designated hitter number 34, Daniel Burrow.
Cameron Conley still at third base. Muckdogs are down 3. Frederick is retired on the pop fly in foul ground. Here's Danny Burroway. With a nice hold there. Good check swing. Burroway does have 2 hits so far tonight. RBI double in his first at-bat. Back in the first. That one will be a strike. 1-1. Big Danny Burroway. Trying to cash in Connolly. That one's put into play. Out for short, and it will get through. Yeoman's going to get there in time. Their score is 5-3. And Cameron Connolly will come around to score after a big double. And Danny Burroway picks up his second RBI of the night and his third hit of the contest. Muckdogs are just down by 2. Late game magic for the Dogs. With Charlie Sakowny up now. And that one hit deep out to right field. Going towards the line will be the right fielder, Chris Mattoon. He comes down with it. Sakowny with a strikeout and then 3 pop-ups to the outfield. So 2 down in the inning now with Burroway at first. Sakowny just a little bit too under that one. Pinch hitting is going to be Spencer Marcus in Mitch Fleming's spot. So it'll be interesting to see who will go out there and play catcher now. Not sure if Marcus will. What's going to happen, but the 2 hottest hitters for the Dogs come in pinch hit opportunities here. That's just Joe Martinez being a competitive coach, wanting to win. So now they have a little bit more momentum here as that one will be fouled away by Spencer Marcus. Spencer Marcus, the Niagara University Purple Eagle, playing the best baseball that he's played as of late, hitting .457 coming into this one with 16 hits and 34 at-bats. A home run and 10 RBIs. There is a slider that will be low and away. 5-3 is your score. In the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 man on and a 2-1 count to Spencer Marcus. And the pitch by Wildeman will be in there for strike 2. Drops in a curveball on the inner half that Marcus will just look at. Wildeman's going to get a replacement with the ball, and we'll be back with the pitch and a 2-2 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Danny Burroway takes his lead. Here's Marcus. That one swung on and missed. Not chasing after it will be Marcus. He's just going to tag softly.
In the bottom of the 8th, 2 runs and 2 hits.
Marcus might have thought that he only had 1 strikeout because he didn't run to first or do anything there. So it was a 2-2 count. I've had discrepancies in the past with the count last week against Mansfield, but that's the 8th inning is now in the books. Muckdogs find themselves down 2 runs heading into the 9th. We will see who will be out on the mound as it appears that Trey Bacon will be back out there for the Dogs in the 9th.
top of the ninth.
And we are back here
Number
with
21, Chris
Batavia
Erickson.
Muckdog coverage here on YouTube Live. 1 inning left to play. Elmira here in the top of the 9th inning with a 2-run lead. They're up in this one 5-3. Now up is Chris Erickson. We're seeing him play third base tonight. Goes to Siena College and plays infield there, but every time we've seen him so far this season, he's been in center field. Finally playing back in the infield. Very weird swing right there by Erickson. Front foot was way out and to the left, just completely stepped out. And he does that time as well. Really opens up on his swing. It's something that you're mostly not taught to do. Want to keep a closed stance. And contact. Just look at him open up there. Can guarantee you something. He will not be hitting any balls hard to the right side with a swing like that. All pull side. So here's the 2-2 from Bacon. And could have guessed it. Outside fastball. Can't touch it. And there is out number 1 as Bacon gets the strikeout.
Left fielder, number 44, Logan Scott.
Here's Logan Jones.
Logan Jones?
There is a strike on the outer half by Trey Bacon. The right-handed pitcher and middle infielder from Tallahassee Community College. Originally from Tampa. That one's hit on the ground. Nice pick by Joe Georgia. And we have just seen him time after time show off his defensive ability at first base. Looks like a shortstop over there at first. Some of the picks that he makes. That is a great guy that you can rely on when you need him. Quickly 2 down after Jones is retired. So Mr. Jones, now he's hitting 250. That was a big swing and a miss. It's time to Mattoon. He's in jeopardy of also having the golden sombrero. The 0-1. Big swing and a miss. Trey Bacon just veering back and blowing by these fastballs. It looks really good these past 2 innings. He's kind of putting it into an extra gear. Here's the 0-2 now. That one he's just looking at. And Trey Bacon, 1, 2, 3, 6 retired batters in a row. Great ending for Bacon. And now you're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Muckdogs down 2 have to work a little bit of magic here as they have came short multiple times in this situation. Down 2 going in to their last up. So let's see what they can do here as Joe Georgia, Luis Rodriguez, and Ethan Saramento are due up for the Muckdogs. we are here with the Muckdogs. With their last ups, we're going to see a few pinch hitters here. As it looks like Jerry Reinhardt's going to come into this one. Reinhardt so far this season, hitting a very respectable 260 so far. The 4th game against Niagara, he was hitting 286 going into that one. It was still one bad game, but not as many at-bats can be crucial to you going down about 20 to 30 points. Is a new pitcher on the mound for the Pios. It will be number 22, Zach Bayfield. We've seen him a decent amount of times so far this season. The left-hander from Oberlin County.
Jerry Reinhardt.
He's pitched so far this season 3 innings and has a 6 ERA. So replacing Georgia with the lefty-on-lefty matchup that could have been is now Jerry Reinhardt. First pitch will be in there for a strike, as that was way inside. You could just tell Reinhardt was not a fan of that one. Nobody else was in the ballpark, as that was way in there. And the 0-1 by Bayfield, way outside. 1-1 to the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 9th for the Muckdogs. As Reinhardt's 1-1 is fouled away to the right side. We've seen Reinhardt so far this year really work opposite field. He has a great 2-strike approach where if the ball's out there on the outer half of the plate, he is completely fine with just slapping a single out there. Doesn't need to have pull side everything and have the ball fly all over the yard. He is fully capable of doing it. But likes to be a complete hitter. As he just finished up his junior year at the University of Akron. A very mature hitter. The pitching that he sees in the MAC conference, that's a big reason why. So here's the 2-2. Also way outside. That pitch should have potentially walked Reinhardt, but instead he finds himself in a 3-2 count. Man on deck will be Luis Rodriguez, who just caught this past inning. His first appearance behind the plate, and that one's going to be low. So Reinhardt gets the leadoff walk, and there's something cooking now for the Muckdogs. Now, Luis Rodriguez does have a single in this one. Slapped a opposite field base knock in between first and second. Middle called for a strike, 0-1. We also will have another pinch hitter on deck, as it will be Caden Walton. Walton replacing Ethan Sarmento. Joe Martinez, even though this game doesn't count, he still wants to be competitive. He still would not want to have a loss going into a team that you'll also be playing tomorrow, which the game will count. So, very interesting situation that they find themselves in. A 1-1 count with nobody out. They throw behind Rodriguez. And a very impressive catch by the catcher, Sam Polanco. So they're going to have a talk, as Sam Polanco will go and talk to Bayfield after that pitch. Bottom of the 9th, the Muckdogs have found themselves time and time again with the last ups here at Dwyer Stadium. The first 2 games homestand, not this past weekend, but the weekend before against Elmira and then against Jamestown, where they were very close, lost both of those games by 2 runs and in great position to break the game open. And a 9-7 and then a 12-10 loss as the count now increases to 3-1. 3-1 to Rodriguez. Here's the pitch by Bayfield. That one's also outside. And a big bat flip by Rodriguez. And 2 men on, nobody out. The Muckdogs down 2 runs, and a very reliable hitter in Caden Walton due up now.
Your attention please, now pinch hitting for Batavia, number 4, Caden Walton. Walton now pinch hitting for your Muckdogs.
Caden Walton up now as their most recent home loss against the Geneva Red Wings was a very upsetting one where they had bases loaded and no outs, only down 1, 7-6, as there is almost a bunt down by Caden Walton. Can't get it down. And there will be strike 1. As we've seen so far, these big spots, the Muckdogs just haven't came through completely, as Polanco's going to call the first baseman Ferguson in, and they're going to tell the third baseman Erickson to just stay back there, just in case we can get the lead runner Reinhardt at third if the bunt is directly to the right side at Ferguson. Already going for it is Walton, and he's hit. He is hit for already. That is the 10th time that Caden Walton has been hit by a pitch this season. That is absolutely absurd. He was hit 3 times yesterday alone, and that pitch was behind another Muckdog pitcher, and looks like, again, Muckdogs are in a great position to succeed, and hobbling off now is Caden Walton. Coming in to run for him, looks like it's going to be Ethan Fresca, and his teammates have his back, and that just shows how tight-knit this group is here in Batavia. His entire team is picking him up, and thanks for getting us another base runners. Now we'll have Bacon still in the game, hitting 9th. Abner Benitez due up next with no outs, bases loaded, down by 2. Big spot here for the Dogs. Lefty-on-lefty matchup. One is in there for a strike. So back-to-back lefty matchups with Connolly, 2 up after Benitez at the top of the order. A crazy night of baseball here. And that one almost gets away from Polanco. Back to what I was saying before last Friday against Geneva. Muckdogs found themselves in a great chance to not just tie the game and to go into extras, but to put the game away, as Spencer Marcus had an RBI hit by pitch, actually, to make it 7-6. A strikeout by Burroway led to a Blair Frederick. And there's a great play by Reese Yeomans. That ball could have got down and Reinhardt would have scored. Very nice play by Reese Yeomans, the Corning Community College, mostly third baseman, playing shortstop tonight. A very athletic play there. Now Benitez, also up in a big spot. The double play all around the world is in play here. Just want to put the ball in play, though. You don't want to go down on strikes. But again, Blair Frederick with 1 out in this situation, except they were only down 1 on Friday against Geneva. Blair Frederick hit a line drive right back up the middle at their closing pitcher, Gassler, and he made a great play, got the second out, and threw it over to double up Cameron Connolly at third, in a situation that he had no control over. Just very unfortunate circumstances so far for the Muckdogs in the bottom of the 9th, but trying to change that here, even though this game, again, is an exhibition game and will not count towards their regular season record. Still, a great time to play against one of your rivals here on a Monday night in Batavia. As the 2-0 from Benitez. And the pitch will be called a strike on the inner half. Abner Benitez, a great hitter. One of those guys that you would love to have up in this situation. Cam Connolly also swinging a hot stick, as he is 2 for 4 on this one with 2 extra base hits. That one's put into play, looped into center field, and that one will get down. 1 run will score, and Luis Rodriguez is going to be held up at third, as it is just a 1-run ball game now after the RBI single by Abner Benitez. A great at-bat by the Muckdog outfielder. Coming around to score is Reinhardt, who was the headlight and was walked to start off the inning. Now at third is Rodriguez. Walton was subbed out for Ethan Fresca after he was hit. And now here's Cameron Connolly. Big swing and miss on the first pitch that he sees. Again, still just one out. Infield is in. Trying to make sure if the ball's hit on the ground that they go home to make sure that this game is not tied. Here's the pitch by Bayfield. That one, again, hit out to the right side, but foul. 0-2 hole now for Connolly. The youngest guy on this Muckdog team in a big spot here with Blair Frederick, one of the oldest guys on the team, on deck. Both very reliable. The Muckdog faithful that's still in attendance here, trying to hype up their team. It's the 0-2, runs inside, and it is 1-2. Connolly not looking to get beamed there. He wants to get the hit and bring home the game-tying run. That's standing on third base with Rodriguez. Ethan Fresca standing at second. He is the go-ahead game-winning run. Count is 1-2 by Bayfield. That one swung on and fouled back yet again. So Connolly spoils one. I'd like to thank you all watching Batavia Muckdog coverage here on YouTube Live. I'm Griffin Della Penna. 5-4 is your score. Bases loaded, one out in the bottom of the ninth. Cameron Connolly up in a big spot. And the 1-2 yet again. That's hit, and that one's going to get through. One run will score. Ethan Fresca coming around to score, and we'll walk it off here in Batavia as Cameron Connolly, the Pepperdine commit, comes up clutch, hits the ball the opposite way, and your Muckdogs will win this one 6-5 here on a Monday night. A comeback win against the Pioneers. Cameron Connolly will be your player of the game with a triple in the first inning, a double, and that game-winning 2 RBI single.
And that's a walk-off victory for your Muckdogs.
And the Pioneers now have a long bus ride back as the two teams are chirping at one another. And these two teams will meet tomorrow in Elmira, as they're saying, come over here.
Line score for
Two
tonight's
teams
game
are chirping at one another, with the Muckdogs walking this one off here in Batavia.
Elmira, 5 runs on 5 hits.
As little Kevin Serrano trying to put up a fight against the whole team, trying to act like the tough guy. Always have those guys that want to be the tough ones. Muckdogs have their first walk-off of the year, as now Joe Martinez and Adler Benitez, and now it might get ugly. In Elmira at Dunn Field. Signing off, I'm Griffin Della Penna. We will see you tomorrow.